Some connections don't just feel good, they feel impossible to walk away from. You think about them constantly, you feel them even when they're not there. You try to detach, and somehow it pulls you back in, and you start to wonder, is this spiritual or is this something else? Because it feels deeper than attraction, but it also feels a lot like addiction. In this video, we're going to talk about that. Why some spiritual connections feel addictive, and the difference between true connection and emotional dependency, and how to recognize when something sacred is also becoming unhealthy. Because not everything that feels intense is meant to be held on to. So let's start with the truth. Some connections are different. You meet someone and it's not just physical, it's energetic. You feel seen, understood, activated in a way that you've never experienced before. And it's like something inside of you wakes up, and that's real. But here's where we need to ground it. Intensity is not the same as alignment. Just because something feels powerful doesn't automatically mean it's healthy or meant to stay. Because what you're feeling is often a combination of emotional recognition, psychological mirroring, and nervous system activation, all happening at once. When a connection is inconsistent, it becomes even more addictive. Moments of closeness followed by distance, attention followed by withdrawal. And this creates this cycle in your brain. So, where you start craving their messages, their presence, their validation, and when you don't get it, you feel that absence deeply. And this is what's known as intermittent reinforcement. And I want you guys to get very acquainted with that word. Look it up, research it. Intermittent reinforcement. Because it's the same pattern that creates addiction. Because your brain starts chasing the high of when things feel good again. So when people say, I feel addicted to them, they're not being dramatic. They're describing a real psychological loop. And this is where things get tricky, because spirituality can sometimes be used to justify attachment. We tell ourselves, this is my soul connection. This is my twin flame. This is meant to be. And maybe parts of that is very true. But here's the honest question. Are you experiencing connection or are you experiencing attachment? Because they can feel very similar, but they are not the same. You see, connection feels grounded, expansive, safe, even in depth. But attachment's going to feel urgent, consuming, dependent on the other person's behavior. And when we label attachment as spiritual, we stop questioning it. We just accept it, which actually keeps you stuck. So why do you keep going back is the real question. When they don't say anything to you or acknowledge you, and you're really in the beginning stages of this, because right now, guys, we're in phase 1. We're just breaking the illusion, and that's what we're working on. Why do we go back? And it's even when you know it's not stable, even when it hurts, we go back. And it's because the connection is feeding something deeper. And it might be a need to feel chosen, a wound around abandonment, or a desire to feel significant to somebody. And when that need gets activated, it doesn't just disappear when the person leaves, it lingers. So your system keeps pulling you back towards the source, not because it's truly aligned, but because it's familiar. Because it feels like if I can just make this work, I'll finally feel what I've been missing. But that's the illusion, because what you're seeking was never meant to come from them. So let's talk about the truth about the spiritual growth here, because real spiritual growth doesn't trap you in cycles. It doesn't keep you in confusion. It doesn't make you feel powerless. Real growth brings you back to yourself, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it requires letting go. Because a truly aligned connection will not require you to lose yourself to keep it. And if something feels addictive, The invitation is not to hold on tighter. It's to ask yourself, what is this showing me about myself? So yes, some connections feel spiritual, but spirituality is not measured by intensity. It's measured by truth, and truth doesn't bind you. It's supposed to free you. So if you're caught, or if you've been caught in something that feels addictive, this isn't about judging yourself. This is about seeing it clearly. Because once you see the pattern, you're no longer controlled by it. So if this resonated with you, I want you to comment down below. I choose clarity over illusion. And if you're navigating this right now, make sure you follow the channel. Take a breath. You're not alone in this. You're just becoming aware. And I'll see you guys in the next video.